Hi everyone, so welcome to my kitchen. Here we've got a pot of boiling water. We're going to get started on this flavorful veggie, vegan, kind of fettuccine dinner. And one of the main keys to cooking as a vegan is, obviously if you're cooking something that takes time, you're definitely going to want to start preparing it ahead of time so that when you're hungry, you're ready for it and you don't have to starve in the process, because spaghetti can take a long time. And really the key to any healthy living, regardless if you're vegan or not, is to have more meals cooked at home. Simply just because food out in the world is so saturated with grease and garbage, and we just don't know what's in our food these days at restaurants. Not even, health codes are up to par. So it's really important for me to not live in a bubble, but just to do as much healthful living as possible. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm gonna take my Ezekiel sprouted grain pasta fettuccine. This is a spinach fettuccine. Complete protein pasta, 100% organic, high in fiber, 100% whole grain, low glycemic. Obviously you do not need to buy 100% organic just because it's not, food industry isn't regulated that way. There is no real way to make sure that you're going to get organic or not. But the key to eating very healthfully as a vegan is to assume a vegetarian diet as if you were diabetic and lactose intolerant. I know that seems a bit much, but basically just cutting out all the unnecessary garbage you do not need in your diet is A, very cruelty-free, and not only that, but B, it's extremely healthful living. Alright, so now I'm going to take Capelli Florence Premium Extra Virgin Olive Oil, and this is going to help my spaghetti to not stick. Now I'm going to use a little bit of black ground pepper. This is just like a store brand, nothing fancy. I know I took some more than some people might be interested in taking, so just take what you like. I'm going to take leaf oregano. I am a seasoning addict, so bear with me on this one. Iodized, oh sorry, it does not contain iodine. Iodine salt's better for you though. If you have that, go ahead and take that. Alright, just a little bit of that for flavor. Not too much, you don't want too much sodium in your diet, just enough for flavor. I'm going to take half this package of fettuccine. These noodles are fantastic because they are low glycemic and made of spinach, whole grain. I don't need to cook them very long, so the meal plan will go faster in that respect. I don't like breaking my noodles, so I'm just going to wait till the ends get soft enough. Plus you waste half your noodles and you lose half your proteins and your carbs, and carbs are what gives us energy. I believe it's a myth that carbs can make you gain weight, unless you're like eating a loaf of bread a day. Now if you're somebody who doesn't like carbs, don't you worry. This stuff is actually low in carbohydrates and contains no sugar. So it's simply all the more vegan. It has natural enzymes, nutrients, barley, beans. You have all those wonderful, wonderful things. And it contains no soy on top of it. Soy in excessive amounts is really, really bad for you. So I've been just doing a lot of just more natural plant-based dinners lately without any like soy or transitional foods, because if you're constantly consuming soy, you're gonna irritate your thyroid. Oops, sorry. It's not really a health food. So wherever I can, I get rid of soy in my diet. I don't even like eating vegetarian, like quick fast food. Going to like places like Loving Hut, which is very prominent here in California, because the food's heavy and it's soy based. So it's funny to me whenever you go into a place like that and they're like, oh, welcome to Loving Hut. This is vegan, therefore it's healthy. And you're like, there's not pretty much one dish that you can find at Loving Hut that doesn't contain massive amounts of soy. So I usually just go in there for the falafel sandwich since it's chickpeas and wheat. But yeah, it's funny that they say that, just because there's ways on every diet to eat unhealthily. Like, I'm not going to say eating any red meat is bad for you, but if you were to thrive on the Atkins diet, that just wouldn't be, you can't live on that diet. So whenever you're cooking, you just want to make sure your skillet is facing in case somebody runs by. You don't want them to like knock it and then boom, get hurt. So safety first, make sure like anything with an elongated handle is pushed inward. Now if you want to do this like the cheap, easy way, you can. I picked up some Kroger vegetable oil cooking spray. It's just a store brand version of him. I checked, it's vegan. I'm not sure if the spray is good for the environment or not. It's just something to bear in mind. So now we're going to add zucchini, peppers, and carrots and whatnot. It's not a frozen thing, it's like prepped every day. I just froze it because I had some stuff I needed to eat first. I didn't want this to expire because it was like a really good deal. So I'm not a fan of onion, but those should burn off once they're cooked. So if you don't have anything like this in your groceries freezer, zucchinis, peppers, or sorry, your groceries produce aisle, zucchinis, peppers, anything like that. I don't care for frozen vegetables. I obviously just froze these, just like I said, to not be wasteful. But I don't care for those packages of frozen food personally. Pre-cut can be expensive, but luckily this one was so not expensive. It would have cost me like $4 to get all these vegetables, like unprecut, so this wasn't an enormous deal. Alright. These vegetables are done. I'm just going to turn off the oven. I'm going to let it sit there. I don't want all the juices to be thrown away now. I actually might keep them and pour them in the sauce. I haven't decided. Depends on the integrity of the juices. I'm just going to let that sit for a second. Alright, so the only thing that was left in there really was ice water and vegan Pam. So I went ahead and strained it. Now I'm going to be taking Gia Ressa, or however you want to pronounce it. This is Italian, so there's like a small import fee. Import fee is like $2 here in the US. This is artichoke, hand-selected Italian plum tomatoes, and fresh spices. It includes plum tomatoes, artichokes, Italian olive oil, fresh onion, salt, pepper, fresh garlic, fresh basil, fresh parsley, and oregano. Now, one of the things I personally stay away from as a vegan, which is a tall order, is garlic and onion. I work in customer service and I don't like the smell of it. So I'm not saying that there are any health benefits in it, but I personally choose to stay away from it. Unless it's cooked and it's an Italian dish, then it's pretty much burnt off. Alright, so I'm just going to load that into there. Okay. So yeah, like I said, this is like $6 to $8. It's the most expensive thing in the whole thing. The seasonings I already had, and if you cook at home, you collect those over time, and they weren't expensive seasonings. They were store brand. This fettuccine, a couple dollars. The vegetables, $1.99. This is fast, healthy, easy. You could choose to walk away from the pot, every so often. You're not going to have to babysit cooking this meal, and it's inexpensive. Yeah, one meal could cost anywhere from I don't know, $4 to $8 if you're not getting off the dollar menu, and that's just for one meal. This meal is going to feed you for a number of meals. So yeah, it may have cost like $10, but you're going to be able to eat 5 times, or 5 people are going to get their mouths fed. So it's definitely worth its asking price, I think. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, home cooking is not cost effective, it can cost a lot. Not necessarily. And you also can't put such a short price on health. Eating a burger every night is really not good for anyone. Now, because I am a flavor freak, I'm going to take Cara Mia marinated artichoke hearts. These are only like a couple dollars a jar, so these are just going to give me a little bit of flavor. A little artichoke juice in there. These are my artichokes, so I'll put my fingers in it. I only use it for like pizza and salads. So, fresh artichoke hearts. And there's protein in the artichoke hearts. And it's marinated in garlic spices and canola oil. So